Adventure movies are popular. You know an adventure film as a genre that revolves around the conquests and explorations of a protagonist. The purpose of the conquest can be to retrieve a person or treasure, but often the main focus is simply the pursuit of the unknown. These films generally take place in exotic locations and play on historical myths. Adventure films incorporate suspenseful puzzles and intricate obstacles that the protagonist must overcome in order to achieve the end goal. What exactly makes an adventure epic? Why people like adventure movies, and the final question is, why adventure movies are so popular. An adventure film is big, grand, and epic with lots of grand vistas and cinematography. Here, I will attempt to break down specific elements that make a good adventure movie. The story for this type of movie usually involves some ancient relic from some ancient civilization that holds unknown mysterious powers. This is an element seen most often in these types of movies. The villain wants to get his hands on this item for reasons that range anywhere from ruling the world to just plain old-fashioned money. The story is more involving than your typical action movie. An action movie does not involve any supernatural elements at all, and they are usually confined to one familiar setting. They are rather bland by adventure standards. The story usually involves a drug lord or crime boss and has to do with revenge for killing someone's wife or partner. The plots for these movies I find rather bland. The adventure movie usually involves many different exotic settings around the world and lots of supernatural things. The situations are more risky and things seem more dangerous because you're dealing with the supernatural unknown mysteries. There is sometimes even an element of horror in some adventure films. Things are just a little bit scarier in adventure movies. The situations are just a bit more dangerous and the villains and a bit more frightening than in your average action film. This is due to the fact that they deal with things unknown and supernatural. Try to imagine a villain trying to get his hands on a relic that can bring back an ancient civilization's army. You would have an army of corpses, a walking army of the undead. Skeletons and decomposed bodies, some with missing limbs and eyeballs dangling. That's scary. Despite this, the adventure film still manages to keep an air of lightheartedness. Most of the time, more so than any action film. Most adventure movies have plenty of comedy and humor, things that would make you laugh out loud. Adventure has a great balance of different elements that make for a complete and very satisfying experience. Now, the hero can be a typically straightforward Boy Scout type without any fears or flaws and never makes a mistake. But that makes for a very uninteresting hero. The type of adventure hero that I like is one who is not always right. They make mistakes and screw up sometimes, and they have flaws and fears, and sometimes they even do the wrong thing. That makes them human. At the beginning of the story, the hero's intentions might not always be too good. The hero can also just be ruled by money, but the difference is that they have to make a change sometime in the story. They have to truly become a true hero. This is what I like to call the transformation, where they risk it all to do good to save the girl in the world. The heroes that I like, be it male or female, are usually debonair and roguish, not so clean-cut and proper all the time, and a little gritty and down-to-earth. They are good at what they do and they say great one-liners. Usually, there is a love interest. The villain in an adventure film is big and evil and a little more frightening than your typical bad guy, and they usually have a reason to do the things they do. They are for the most part like every other type of villain. What makes them different from your typical grade-A James Bond villain is that they don't want to rule the world with nuclear weapons. They want to rule the world with ancient supernatural power. With the Sword Excalibur or the Ark of the Covenant or the Army of Anubis. There are also other types of villains that don't need any reason to be bad. They just are like pirates or mercenaries, but usually these types are supporting villains. The main villain has a motive to be evil. The villain sometimes leads some type of cult devoted to finding this relic, and these people become his army and bodyguards. And a lot of times they are rich and are able to support their vast empire. The most exciting part of the adventure films are the action-adventure sequences, always exciting and full of danger. The action sequence in an adventure film differs greatly from one in an action film. There are narrow escapes from trap-infested temple ruins. Instead of just a normal car chase, you have a chase involving mine cars inside caverns or jeeps through the jungles of South America, or a Nazi truck with armed escort in the desert, and a hero who must climb on and take control of it against all odds. Or a plane being chased by a wall of sand, or a double-decker bus chased by mummies through the streets of London. This is adventure at its highest. The fights are big and grand against mummies or scorpion monsters or evil cult leaders or Nazi mechanics. The settings usually involve ancient ruins or things like a rope bridge over a river infested by alligators or filled with lava. There are gunfights and plenty of explosions, and the climactic battles have to be even bigger and utterly amazing. This is what makes an adventure sequence. These entire things blend to complete what to me is the perfect adventure film. To me, adventure is a specific idea, it is a state of mind. In the world of adventure, things are bigger and grander and very magical and not always too realistic. But hey, it's about fun. I love adventure films and I will never tire of them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Celebrity Research to receive all of our latest videos. Thanks for watching. If you're hungry for more, why not check out our next video?